It was the Wolf of Wall Street that said greed is good, although Toto Wolff is perhaps the only person in Formula 1 at the moment not talking about the greed of Ferrari and Charles Leclerc after their little spin at Imola in the final few laps of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. I'm Ollie Wilson for GPFans. We're going to hear from Charles Leclerc, very briefly from Christian Horner, and a little bit from Toto Wolff as well, as we bring you all the important fallout from a sensational sprint weekend that has just been. Before we go any further, just subscribe down below to stay up to date with all of our content here at GPFans. But let's dive into the important headlines this Monday. Charles Leclerc believes it was greed that cost him and Ferrari this weekend at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. The championship leader was sat in third and pushing to overtake Sergio Perez after a late pit stop for soft tyres in order to try and secure the extra point for the fastest lap of the race and, of course, a podium finish. However, an error heading into Variante Alta sent his F175 spinning into the wall, forcing the driver to pit for a new front wing and dropping down the order, eventually finishing 6th after fighting back up the field from 9th. "I believe the spin shouldn't have happened. P3 was the best I could do," said Leclerc after the race. "We didn't have the pace for much more. I was greedy and I paid the price for it, and I lost 7 potential points compared to the 3rd place I had before." It's interesting that Leclerc's words actually echo what Red Bull team principal Christian Horner said in the aftermath of Sunday, also using the word greedy to describe the Ferrari driver's error at turn 14. Now, the long-term worry for Leclerc and his team is the reliability Red Bull showed all weekend, along with unmatchable pace. While the Ferrari suffered from tyre graining in the sprint session on Saturday and struggled to keep up with their title rivals on Sunday, Max Verstappen was able to cruise to victory in the main race and take the top spot of every key session of the weekend. The Monegasque driver wasn't sure if Red Bull's step forward was necessarily a permanent one or not, with the two teams sharing dominance across the first 4 races of the season, and he expects that to continue as this campaign goes on. Elsewhere, Toto Wolff has vowed to protect Lewis Hamilton after the Mercedes driver suffered a torrid weekend at the Imola circuit. After dropping from 13th to 14th in the sprint race, Hamilton couldn't get himself up the order on race day, coming home outside the points in 13th, only after Esteban Ocon was handed a time penalty for an unsafe release in the pit lane, an incident that actually involved a British driver as the 2 cars ended up touching in the pit lane. His team principal Wolff has vowed to look after his driver, especially with Max Verstappen throwing barbs this weekend after lapping his former title rival and calling the Mercedes slow all year. "It's not his low, I think it is the low of the car performance," said Wolff on Sunday. However, he did offer some crumbs of hope to the 7-time world champion, adding, "The real stars, they have recovered. There are none out there of the really great ones that come into mind that didn't have a moment in their career where things didn't run properly, and that is the case now with him." So Hamilton's frustrations could continue for a long time, and it must be even more frustrating to see George Russell bringing his Mercedes home in 4th this weekend. Who was your driver of the day on Sunday? Was it the way Max Verstappen cruised to victory? Was it Lando Norris able to get a podium in that McLaren? Was it George Russell for picking up that 4th place and scrapping with Valtteri Bottas at the end? Let us know in the comments section below. As always, your thoughts on all the news and the big wide world of Formula 1 are always welcome here and on our social media channels at GPFans Global on Twitter and Instagram. And stay with us here on the YouTube channel for all of the news this season in the world of F1.